My intention is to hold the space for people to reconnect to themselves in a new way, for this ritual to help us all see that we can think about things differently, and therefore we can live our lives differently. Our reflections and our intentions do little if we don't actually then take action and embody and integrate. We need to be building in all we are releasing and moving towards. Okay, before we do anything else, I have to make tea. So yesterday I woke up feeling slightly under the weather, which I never get sick ever. So I was like, okay, I need to take matters into my own hands. For me, that meant pulling out my fire cider and pouring it into all of my drinks, adding it to my tea, adding it to hot water. I had this twice yesterday and then this morning. My tea. This is the tea I made in a previous YouTube video. So supportive for immune system. And then Beekeeper's Naturals. I love these guys. Woke up this morning. Even I'm surprised how much better I feel. So those are my immune support tips. It's Theo drinking water. Okay. Let's chat, shall we? You're going to need your journal for this one. Today we are talking about a ritual about breaking and rewriting rules. This is a huge one. So many of us have rules for ourselves that we don't even realize. This can be rules for anything. For example, I used to have so many rules around food and movement and rigidity and structure and when I could or couldn't do something, how productive I had to be, what clothes I had to wear. A lot of these were not rules that I even knew were dictating my life. But as I went through my healing and became more present and got to know myself better, I started to realize that I had these beliefs around how I'm supposed to live my life, around who I'm supposed to be. And they were unconsciously running the show and dictating my life. There are a lot of things that we take as fact when really it's the reality that we're creating in our minds. There's a lot of things that from a very young age we are taught are facts. This is how you are supposed to be, what job you're supposed to have. This is what is the correct way to show up in the world. And it's so deeply ingrained, it's so conditioned into us at such a young age that we never pause and say, do I really believe that? Is this really serving me? Is this really how I want to live my life? Because the truth is we get to choose. We have a choice in who we want to be. We have a choice in what we want to believe. And our beliefs are what create our reality. We go into this a lot in this week's Theo. We go into this a lot in this week's podcast episode. I have on Jazz Bori, and she is an entrepreneur who is widely successful and also in recovery from workaholism. We talk about how much of our society is laid out for us to be very unhealthy and how important it is to question societal conditioning and make your own rules and decide how you want to live your life. And this is also the way to be authentic, the way to be really intuitive, and a way to be truly healthy. I really believe the reason why we're having such a mental health crisis right now is because we all think we need to live by this set of rules that we don't even realize are rules for us. And when we start to become aware of them and when we start to really get to know ourselves and then choose our own rules, our own beliefs, we can live our own life and not try to fit the mold of what the world has told us to be and really show up authentically, show up in a way that is serving us because we all are meant to live different lives. And because so many of these beliefs are so deeply ingrained and have been around for so long, it really requires us to take conscious effort to understand the root of these rules, to understand why we do what we do and where these beliefs are coming from and what these beliefs are, to bring them into our consciousness. Getting to the root of why we do what we do is what allows us to understand ourselves and our actions on a deeper level, and ultimately to live a life created by our truth. It's like the age-old question of nature versus nurture. And so much of our thoughts are nurtured, are built into us, are from the outside world. And we have the power to shift that. So that brings us to our ritual. Theo doesn't want to join. Okay, here's our ritual. A little journaling practice for today. So grab your journal or a piece of paper and a pen, but you're going to want to write rules at the top of your page. And it might be easiest to start with one area of your life, whether that is relationships or career or body image or pleasure. Whatever comes to mind, go with that. Just let your intuition guide you, and this will get easier the more you do it. And if you picked a category, you can write the category down as well. And then just start to list any beliefs you have around this category. Even if you don't think that they're rules or if they don't really make sense to you, just any beliefs that you have, just start writing them all out. And if this is feeling really difficult or confusing for you, think of a situation where your actions did not align with your values or with your desires or with your intentions, and write out why. Or think of an area in your life where things aren't working out the way that you wish that they would, and try to get to the bottom of why. For example, if you aren't, let's say, enjoying your work and you feel really stuck or you feel really unhappy with what you're doing, but you believe that this is the job I'm supposed to have. This is how work is supposed to be. I go to my job and I get a paycheck and X, Y, and Z. But really, your dream is to start your own business or work remotely or do something different than it was taught to you was okay. And so in this scenario, the rules would be around how work is supposed to look and what you can or cannot do and what it means to be responsible or to have security or safety. There's so many different ways that this can show up for each person, but that's an example to kind of get the balls rolling. And you want to ask yourself, who created these rules? In many scenarios, it will be either our family or society we grew up in or are around a lot. Ask yourself, why do I feel the need to follow these rules? And many times it's because we feel like we need to fit in, because we are afraid of anything different, because we don't know anything different, we haven't been shown anything different. And often it's because we haven't even contemplated the idea that we could do things differently. This is where it's really important to have your values and your intentions in place, because then you can say, are these rules aligned with my values? Are these rules aligned with my intentions? Are these rules aligned with my desires? And are they going to get me to the place I want to go in life? So it might take some soul searching. It might take some values work, which is very important. It might take some processing, but it starts with just gaining awareness around the rules that are no longer working for you, the beliefs that are not serving you, and how you want to rewrite that and recreate that for yourself. And then picking one and writing down intentions and action steps that you can embody and integrate into your life right now. So I'll give you an example. I used to have a lot of rules around joy. And when I could feel joy, how much joy I could feel, how I could express that. I really didn't think it was okay to be joyful, to be happy. And so the last year especially has been a lot of reclaiming my joy and rewriting my stories around joy and my rules around joy. A big part of that was letting myself feel joy every single day and building in little moments of joy throughout my day. Really prioritizing moments of joy throughout my day, working that into my schedule just as diligently as I write out my work schedule. And one action step that I took to do this is to try to have a dance party at least 3 times a week. And ideally every day, just one song, even if it's a 1-minute song, putting that song on and dancing in my house. I'm someone who loves music. I'm deeply impacted and moved by music. And so letting myself take the time to listen to my music, to not be productive, to feel the energy of the music and to just dance without thinking about how it looks or what it is or what's happening, not needing it to have any sort of result, just dancing. And I actually think that this is a practice that could benefit everyone. I think we all could use some more joy in our life, and we all could benefit from giving ourselves permission to feel joy more often and to prioritize that. So I really want you to do something like that for yourself. Take one of your rules and get to the bottom of it, deeply understand it, understand where it comes from, understand your attachment to it, understand how it's impacting your life, and then choose something different. Choose a new belief, choose a new intention, write down action steps, and build it into your schedule to teach your brain you are rewriting that rule. Because letting myself do these dance parties is showing my brain I'm worthy of joy. I'm allowed to feel joy. It is rewiring the neural pathways, reestablishing my beliefs around joy on a core root level. So that is now what I am living out. And I want you to tell someone about this new rule. Really start to speak it into existence. Start to ingrain it into your brain. Start to make it a part of your narrative. One action step that I did to help me do this when it comes to recreating my relationship with joy was to let myself say, I'm really happy right now. Like if someone asks how I'm doing, I'm saying, I'm feeling really joyful. I'm feeling really good. And to let myself express joy, to bring people into my dance parties, to tell people about them, to show up in this new way. And there will be limitations for you. There will be blocks and challenges mentally for you around this. I still have many around joy, still have moments where I don't feel like it's okay to feel joy or express it or share it or feel it. And so then I pause and give myself compassion and remind myself why I feel that way, why I have learned that that's not okay, and remind myself of those past rules and of my new rules and of my new beliefs and my new intentions, and then give myself permission to still move in the direction towards my intentions, even if it feels wildly uncomfortable. I promise that you are worthy of creating new rules for yourself, that you are worthy of breaking free from past patterns and past beliefs. And it's okay and it's safe to choose something different for yourself, even if other people don't understand it or accept it or support it. Even if you don't understand it or accept it or support it at first, just hold on to your intentions, hold on to your desires, hold on to your values, and know that the direction that you are going in is going to lead you there. Because when that foundation is so strong, it doesn't matter. The rest of it won't impact you as much. So I want you to leave this ritual having identified at least one rule that is impacting your life right now, understanding the basics of how that's impacting you and where that's come from, choosing a new intention and a new belief to rewrite, and at least one action step that you can take this week to start to recreate this story for yourself, to start to ingrain this new belief and this new intention into your life. Whatever it is, I hope you give yourself permission to choose it for yourself.